Welcome back to another article Raya review, and today we're going to be looking at the Crown Prince of the UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed, MBZ, also known as. This is the introduction to an article written by David Salinger, so please go check it out in the description below of the video and finish reading the whole story. Right, but before we go into more details about what's happened lately, for those that are not sure who MBZ is, he is the Crown Prince and ruler of the United Arab Emirates, a post he formerly occupied since his brother in 2014, known as President Khalifa, suffered a stroke, really. So MBZ has effectively been a leading figure much earlier in the UAE's foreign affairs. This is since 2005. Now, in the UAE, MBZ now holds complete political and military power. So now let's get to what's happened with MBZ lately. First, we know that MBZ pulled UAE's ground forces out of Yemen. Surprise, surprise. Second, we know that the Houthis are gaining the upper hand in the West of Yemen. These are their opponents. And third of all, we know that the UAE's high civilian death toll is being highly criticised by the whole international community. But as you all know, here at Raya Group, we'd like to give you a bit of a more detailed answer. So the question we're going to be answering today is, why is Mohammed bin Zayed level chilly? Well, the UAE's military-led intervention in Yemen has fallen short of its objectives. Since taking leadership of the UAE, MBZ has led an increasingly interventionist foreign policy in the Arab world. Right? The Crown Prince's goal is to make the UAE a major power in the Middle East, while implementing the Emirati political model throughout the whole region. This political model has come to be known as Gulfication, which on the one hand sacrifices democracy and popular representation in exchange for economic prosperity and security. All of this, right, excluding religion from governance. So they want economic prosperity and security while giving up popular representation and democracy. Not that big of a deal, right? Essentially, MBZ wants to put in power throughout the Arab world secular strongmen who will develop the economy, guarantee security, and most importantly, become a strong ally for the UAE. An example of this, a very clear example, happened when MBZ successfully tested the Gulfication strategy backing General El-Sisi's coup in Egypt in 2013. If you don't know who General El-Sisi is, go check out our website ragroup.org and click on the country Egypt and you'll find out who he is, right? This hawkish foreign policy actually really paid off as MBZ gained a key ally in Egypt while proving that UAE's capabilities in the international scene were a possibility. When the civil war broke out in Yemen in 2015, right, we're back to Yemen, MBZ saw the perfect opportunity to consolidate the UAE status as a regional power. All of this while further implementing his Gulfication strategies. With these goals in mind, MBZ intervened alongside Saudi Arabia, major superpower within the Middle East, in favour of the international recognised Hadi government. This had been overthrown by the Houthi rebels. So, within weeks, the Saudi-led anti-Houthi alliance turned the tide of the war, pushing the rebels out of Port City, Aden, and up north towards the capital, Sana'a. When it all seemed like it was going as planned, the war was going to be fine, and they were all going to win, there was an unexpected turn of events. A new player completely entered the scene, and it was a strong one too. Iran, the other superpower in the Middle East, stepped up its support of the Houthis, and it was soon apparent that as they faced the Iran-backed Houthis, the Saudi-led and MBZ intervention would not achieve a swift victory as they would have liked in the Yemen war. The underlying issue is, MBZ is currently being defeated in Yemen, but the real losers are the Yemenis themselves, who have been at war for 5 years. So if you want to know how this story ends, you need to go and check the article below in the description about David Salinger article on MBZ. As always, you can find more information on riotgroup.org, on our Instagram page, on our YouTube page, Twitter, and even LinkedIn we have. So remember that once you see it, you can't help but notice. See you in the next Raya article review.